I made videos about my custom WLED PCB based on ESP32. I made some mistakes, and so in this video I will improve this design and I will give it to you for free. All I ask for is two things. Please like this video right now. Do it. I'm waiting for you. And the second thing is also free and easy. Please subscribe to this channel. Alright, so that's the deal. And you will get my design for free. So the first part of this video is about the improvements. And in the second part I will show you exactly what you need to do in order to use this design. Alright, so the first mistake that I made was I confused GPIO 0 and GPIO 2. Actually, GPIO 0 is the one that puts the microcontroller into the flashing mode. I just left it floating, which is not great, because if it is low, then you enter the flashing mode. There is no firmware on the board when you power it on for the first time. We need to manually flash it. And that's exactly where we need to put it into this flashing mode. So the first thing is I will remove this connection right here. And then I will connect it to IO0. And so the default state is high, which puts it into the WLED firmware once it's flashed. And to make it easier, we could add a pinhead for flashing, where you can put a jumper on it and then you flash everything and then you remove the jumper and it works. So let me add a jumper. So here are my jumpers and we need to move things around a little bit. Perfect. In order to put the ESP32 into the flash mode, we need to connect IO0 to ground. And so this pinhead will be connected to IO0, while this pinhead will be connected to ground. So I will rearrange everything a little bit. So if you connect these two jumpers, you can flash and then you remove the bridge and it starts into the WLED. And we can keep IO2 floating. It should work according to this random website. So this was the first thing. And the second thing is all about reducing the voltage. So for reducing the voltage from 24 to 5 volt, I use this LDO, which transforms the difference into heat, which gets very hot. So the best solution in the end is to remove it completely. We can't use an LDO here. So let's remove it. What we need is a step-down converter. So on the Farnell website, for example, linear regulator replacements. That's great. 1 output is great. 5 volt output. Then let's get the cheapest one. 0.5 amps. No longer stocked. Great. Okay. Let's search for items in stock. Yeah, maybe let's take a look at this one. Can we use that one? We have a maximum input voltage of 36 volts and the minimum of 6.5. That's fine. And we have 5 volt and 0.5 amps. That's great. So we could definitely use that one. Now the question is, how do I get this into my design, right? So the first option is based on the datasheet, which, by the way, you should also take a look at. Input range is fine, output voltage is fine, 500 milliamps is fine, and the efficiency is also interesting. With the efficiency, we can calculate the temperature increase, but it will be fine. Based on the mechanical drawings here, we see the mechanical drawings. Based on this, we could design the footprint ourselves in Fusion, or maybe it is already in Fusion and we can use it, or maybe we can download it here, is also an option, or we go to a website like Snap EDA and put in the name of the part, and after logging into your free account you can just download it. So there is a symbol and a footprint available, and if you click on it, then you can download it. Now, which software are we using? We're using Autodesk Fusion, and that's it. I get my library file. And so I open my library manager and I import libraries from a local disk. Put it in there. And there it is. Let's double check. Perfect. Add this to our design. Awesome. And so we have an input voltage, we have an output voltage. And we need a second ground right here. Perfect. I guess the capacitors are not really needed, but they don't hurt. You can double check. Yeah, nothing mentioned about capacitors. I think there are already capacitors inside, so we could probably remove the capacitors, but I will keep it in the design because it will only improve. All right, well, this is a good point. We need a protection circuit, because if the output voltage is bigger than the input voltage, then this might damage this DC-DC converter. And so we will add a diode. It can be just a standard diode. I will use that one. This is the complete basic diode. We need to mount it like this, because otherwise it will fry the PCB. Great. Let's add it like this. That's it. All right, schematic is done. Let's look into the layout. Now I'm interested in the unrouted layer, because now we see what needs to be connected. Let's start with this. Let's unroute this. I need to move it, and let's remove this wire. Whoops, yeah, gone. Okay, and then we can route this resistor to the signal, and this is a very weak signal, so we can use a very thin width, very thin trace, like this. This is fine. This, press Option key to fine tune the placing, and also the resistor, put it here, and let's route. That's it. And put this here. And then this is for the input voltage. Let's add this. And then we connect it. Right. increase the width to 0.6. Okay. So now it's 0.6. But here it doesn't make any sense. Here we can increase it. Why not? Okay, fine. Yeah. And also to the capacity. PS1. Okay, let's call it version 1.1 and save. I think I'm done, but to make sure we can run the design rule check. And this looks pretty good. There is one wire that isn't used. I just approve it and now it's approved and no one cares. Okay, but this design should be fine. One last thing that I need to check is how high is this component? Will it fit inside my case? Because my case looks like this. This is my case. And here I have 14 millimeters. And this thing is 10 millimeters. Perfect. And double check, one is V in and the second one is ground. And this is from the top, so one is V in, second one is ground. And here we can see one is V in, second one is ground, and 5 volt is our output. Perfect. So I will export all of this. So we can have a look at the final PCB. This looks great. This looks a little bit unreadable. So maybe we can fix this. Let's fix this. Then to make your life easier, I will also name these pins right here. I will add some information here. The thing is, for more than 15 years, I'm working with Eagle. And now they integrated Eagle into Fusion and I don't find anything. I'm missing the old times. RXD is next to ground. I can also add a custom 3D model. Okay. Save. And the height is 10.2 and done. Save and close. And now we see the DC-DC converter in its full glory. Jump off for flash Let's call it connect for flashing. So here is step by step what you need to do. First, of course, you need to assemble this thing. So first all the SMD parts with reflow, and then all of the THT parts with manual soldering. The next step is we need to connect these two holes right here for flashing using a jumper. And then you connect ground and 24 volts to a power supply. Perfect. Yeah, let's see what happens. And then you wait. You can use a thermal camera if you have one. And if you don't have one, just smell. And if it doesn't smell, that's great. You can also measure the input current, and if it gets too high, then you turn it off again. Next step then is flashing using a USB to serial converter. Ground goes to ground, RX, so receive, and receive usually needs to be connected to transmit, and of course everything that is transmitted here needs to be received here. And then the reset button shouldn't even be needed. And then you need to use Chrome and go to install.wled.me and then press install. Select the converter, then press connect, and then install. And the installation is complete. After it's flashed, you need to remove this jumper, remove the power, and then you remove the programmer, connect an LED strip, and you put back the power. Everything should work. So it should create this access point. Okay. WLED 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see this menu here. We use a relay GPIO, and that is 12. So they have not only RGB but also a white LED. So we need to select this RGB plus white. And now everything works. We have red, we have blue, we have green, and we also have white. I will link these design files in the description. If this was useful for you, please like this video. This helps a lot, and please subscribe to this channel. Also check out my other videos about WLED. Leave a comment down below if you have some questions or suggestions. See you in the next video.